Recruiters, what's the biggest lie you told that you actually regret? I was a recruiter for the Army for 3 years. Staff Sergeant Garrett Hollis. Had my office in a strip mall between a pizza place and a nail salon in rural Pennsylvania. My job was meeting quotas. Every month needed to sign up a certain number of kids or my career suffered. Most months I scraped by. Some months I got desperate. That's when I met Brendan Walsh. Kid walked into my office during a slow Tuesday afternoon. 17 years old, skinny, glasses held together with tape. Carried a folder full of paperwork. I want to join the Army, he said, but I need to know about the college money. Brendan had gotten accepted to Penn State for engineering. Full ride academically, but his mom got sick. Cancer treatments wiped out their savings. He needed money to help his family and still go to college eventually. I showed him the recruitment materials, explained the GI Bill, education benefits, all the official programs. He kept asking the same question. Will I definitely get enough money for 4 years of college? No matter what. Here's where I messed up. I was 2 recruits short of my monthly quota. My supervisor had already chewed me out twice. I needed this kid to sign. Absolutely, I told him. You serve 4 years, you'll have full college tuition covered. Guaranteed. Penn State, anywhere you want. The Army takes care of its soldiers. That part was technically true. But what I didn't explain clearly was all the fine print. The income caps, the in-state versus out-of-state differences, the maximum benefit amounts, how Penn State's engineering program cost more than the GI Bill would cover. I glossed over those details. Made it sound simpler and better than it was. Brendan signed the papers that afternoon. His mom came in the next day to see the paperwork. Looked at me with these tired eyes and said, "You promise my boy can go to college after? That's all he's ever wanted." "I promise," I said. "The Army will take care of him." Brendan shipped out to basic training 6 weeks later. Sent me a letter thanking me for helping him serve his country. Said he couldn't wait to start at Penn State when his service ended. That letter sat in my desk drawer for 4 years. Every time I opened that drawer, I saw it. Felt sick to my stomach. I stopped glossing over the details with other recruits. Started being brutally honest about education benefits. My numbers dropped. Got reassigned after my supervisor said I wasn't motivated enough. Didn't care. Couldn't lie to another kid after Brendan. Year 4 of his service, I got transferred to a base in Virginia. Wasn't recruiting anymore. Back to regular Army duties. Figured I'd never hear about Brendan Walsh again. Then one morning, I'm at the base gym. Guy next to me on the treadmill looks familiar. Older, more muscular, but those same taped up glasses. "Brendan Walsh?" I asked. He looked over, squinted. "Staff Sergeant Hollis from the recruitment office?" We got coffee after the workout. He told me about his 4 years, infantry deployment to Afghanistan, saw heavy combat, came home with minor PTSD, but mostly okay. Got promoted to sergeant. "So you're heading to Penn State now?" I asked, already knowing the answer would hurt. Brendan shook his head. "Nah, man. Turns out the GI Bill covers about 60% of Penn State's engineering program. Out-of-state tuition rates killed me. Would have worked if I'd gone to a state school or community college first." My stomach dropped. "I'm sorry. I should have explained that better." "It's cool," he said. "I figured it out. Re-enlisted for another 4 years. Decided to make a career out of the Army instead. Changed my MOS to engineering. Working on my degree online through a cheaper program." He seemed fine with it, but I wasn't. This kid had wanted Penn State, had an acceptance letter, had dreams of being a civilian engineer. I'd sold him a picture that wasn't complete. "Brendan, I wasn't fully honest with you about the education benefits. I needed to make my quota and I simplified things. Made it sound better than it was." He looked at me for a long moment, took a sip of his coffee. "Yeah, I figured that out around year 2. Was pretty angry for a while. Called the recruitment office, but you'd already transferred." "I'm sorry," I said again. Felt completely inadequate. Brendan shrugged. "Look, I'm not gonna lie. Finding out the money didn't cover everything hurt bad. Felt betrayed. Spent months bitter about it." He paused, stirred his coffee. "But here's the thing. I love being a soldier. Found out I'm actually good at it. Got leadership skills I never knew I had. My mom's doing better and I'm sending money home. Still getting a degree, just differently than I planned. So you don't regret joining?" "No. I regret that you lied though. Would have joined anyway if you'd been honest. Would have just adjusted my expectations. The lie was the problem, not the opportunity." That hit harder than any anger would have. He'd found a way to make it work despite my dishonesty, but he'd lost trust in the process. We stayed in touch after that. Brendan made staff sergeant 2 years later. I wrote him a recommendation letter, told his commander he was one of the best soldiers I'd ever recruited. He retired last year after 20 years of service. Got his engineering degree through online programs. Works as a contractor now doing well. Still wears those taped up glasses. Says they remind him where he came from. I left recruiting and never went back. Told my commander I wasn't cut out for sales. Preferred honest work. That lie to Brendan Walsh taught me something important. Desperation makes you compromise your integrity. And once you do, you can't take it back. He forgave me eventually, but I never forgave myself.